Would you say that you've got the courage to be disliked?
Gosh, straight in. Yeah, I feel like lockdown was a turning point for me. Obviously, you've got parts of time where you don't feel the best and you kind of trying to be a people pleaser. The majority of the time, yeah, definitely, I'm not really too bothered about what people kind of think of me.
In the book, which you put me onto, I saw you reading it in the gym, you have the philosopher and the youth talk about how people pleasing could be something as basic as you thinking that you're doing something helpful.
Yeah.
But the other person just doesn't recognise it.
Yeah.
And actually, in you trying to be helpful and maybe thinking that you're putting effort into being helpful, you're being unhelpful. You should just ask the person what they want.
That's one of the philosophies in that book. You can't read someone. You can read someone to a certain extent, but you don't know everything. For me, I feel like, as you just said, if you want a definite answer, just ask him.
Yeah. And this idea of, like, it's my task to ask you what you want. And it's also my task to tell you what I want.
Yeah.
And if we can get used to that and just normalise, like, asserting our needs and our boundaries and all of this, then it would just make things so much easier, wouldn't it?
It's just communication, isn't it? And I think a lot of our generation and the generations kind of coming up are so used to being indoors, not talking to people, like no face-to-face contact. You hear of stories from parents, obviously like myself training them, they're like, they can't even make a phone call to book a reservation at a restaurant. Like, that's over the phone, it's not in person, so it's even less daunting. But I feel like communication's just going down the drain a little bit.
Something to clarify is that you and I might statistically be out of the same generation. So I had no idea that you were 23 until I asked.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me, because you've just got this confidence, this air about the gym, the way that you talk is, I think, uncommon, because what you've described, I think, is typical of what I've seen people in your age bracket. Now, Tom's not 17.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify. You're 23, 24 next month, that's right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am in the 25 to 34 group just for this year. So the way that you came across was a big reason for me wanting to chat to you more. And when we did, we got into all kinds of topics. I think the maturity that you've got, you've not been to uni, have you? Do you think it has come in part through coaching, or have you just always found it easy to, like, be out and talk to people?
Yeah, coaching's helped 100%. The person that I am now compared to the person when I first started coaching, completely different. I always joke about with Harry at the gym, because me and him started at this, like, similar times. It's mental. Interpersonal role, like, you're chatting to every man and their dog. It's just nice. Like, I love it. I love talking to people.
And you've been in different models, haven't you? So you were...
It was Roco. Did my apprenticeship at Roco.
Okay.
Actually moved to Dubai for a couple of months. So got offered a kids sports coaching role out there. Loved the role. Like, adored the role. It just wasn't my way of living. Very fake, very social media kind of out there. From what I experienced anyway, the sites are amazing. Like, it's even down to like the little souks and whatever. So from that, came back to Pure Gym, was at Pure Gym for a good few years, and then swapped back over to at Roco, which is now Everlast.
And then where did F45 fit?
F45 was kind of back end of Pure Gym, and then whilst I was at Everlast as well, so I was kind of having two roles at the same time, but left F45.
So for somebody who is maybe looking at different gyms, we're both at Everlast. I don't know if we're on commission if people sign up through us, but if somebody were looking at Everlast, Pure Gym, F45, what do you think the differences would be?
Obviously, Pure Gym's a little bit cheaper. Still a great gym, like, it's still got good equipment, good classes. F45 is kind of opposite end of that spectrum. It's quite expensive. If it's someone that's not really too motivated, that wants to get back in the gym, obviously the classes are only at certain times. It is good, like, it gets you fit, but I feel like kind of your middle ground, which Everlast where we're at now, your general gym and your classes at the same time, and it's now a performance centre. Like, you've got all different ranges, from people that have never stepped in the gym before to people that are pushing comps and stuff like that. And
you're training people at both ends, aren't you? So you've got people who are pushing for HYROX, and you've got people stepping onto bodybuilding stages.
Yeah, so a weird kind of scale.
Yeah.
Like, you've got someone doing nearly 10 hours of cardio a week and resistance training on the HYROX side, and then you've got someone that barely does any cardio in off season anyway. mainly focusing on gym 6 times a week. So it's just finding the differences and finding the way that people's bodies work just through trial and error. Like, everyone's bodies work different. So the thing that I found with Lisa, who's bodybuilding, she reacts to high protein, kind of lower fat better than kind of a little bit lower protein, high fat. So it's just all trial and error, really.
I'm going to have a meta moment with you. Is it distracting how much the sun's bouncing off my head? Because
No, it's all right.
You're all right.
I feel like a satellite going back to the sun.
I am doing my best to have my eyes open while I talk to you. I could wear shades, but then I look like Pitbull interviewing. What do you think you've learned from going between the different types, from going like different ends of budgets, different styles of training? As you said, the people might be complete beginners, or they might be needing motivation, or they might just need to be pushed as hard as possible. Do you think that you learn different lessons at different gyms?
Yeah, definitely. You've got obviously certain stereotypes of kind of the wealthier, more blunt, don't really take advice and whatever. It's nice to be able to learn to deal with different people. I feel like that's the main thing that I've got from working at different gyms, even like in past jobs. Like, I used to work at McDonald's.
Okay.
So like the range of people that go there is crazy. You've got people that have jobs sometimes, and then some people that are driving G-Wagons around the drive-through. Do you know what I mean? So always learning how to work with different people, that's all.
Do you have an ideal, or do you think you'd always want that range when you're working with people?
Definitely recently I've been moving kind of away from foundational coaching. So moving more into comp prep, or people looking to push their training. The main kind of ethos for me is I'll only take on people who want to train, like who want to make a change. I've not been in the business too long, like 7 years coming up to, but did that at the start. And yeah, it's great, but you soon realise you get a lot more joy and a lot more happiness out of working with people that actually want to train, actually want to like do stuff outside of our sessions. Yeah. Because instead of just like going off and doing our session and that's it.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? Because I have had people who wouldn't train were it not for the hour that they booked in with me. Yeah. People would book in 3 hours a week with me and show up for 1. They wouldn't ask for a refund.
Just not bothered.
They just wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
And you know that person's not going to have the best outcomes. And you also know, or maybe I felt that they felt in paying for those hours, they were benefiting themselves in some way.
Yeah, 100%.
But until you do the work, there's no benefit to be had.
No, nothing at all. And like, from a selfish standpoint, I'm sure you're the same, you want to also be seen training people that want to train.
Huge, yeah.
If I'm in the gym watching you PT someone and they don't look like they're having a good time or don't want to be there at all, it shouldn't reflect on you, but it does reflect on you. So like, whenever I see you PT, like, you're always laughing and joking. Like, it's nice to see. And kind of that's what I try to do myself, is just have fun but put in the work at the same time. I feel like that's kind of the best mix.
So we're both in the business of coaching, and the idea of demotivating a client obviously isn't on our agenda.
No.
When is the right time to stop coaching, do you think? We could answer this from an experiential bit, because I've had a coach as well. You've had a coach. You've then gone on to get another one, and I didn't find another one after mine.
Yeah.
What's your experience there? Both start with the client bit, being the client, and then as somebody who coaches, when do you think it's the right time for a client to move on or to look elsewhere?
I feel like myself personally, it was just a lack of, coaches aren't cheap. You want to get value out of what you're spending your money on. I feel at one point I just had a kind of moment, I was like, I'm providing more to this coach than what this coach is providing to me. Yeah. So I feel like that was kind of just the turning point. But it was just too close to shows to kind of change. So did the shows and then kind of made that cutting point after. Yeah, fair.
And from a client perspective, when do you think it's right to move a person on or to suggest that they look elsewhere?
I feel like, I don't know about yourself, like I do weekly check-ins with people. Most of it's like on the app that I use, but obviously all in person as well. Like, I'm always kind of checking people are enjoying the program, enjoying training. Like, I feel like you can always tell when people are starting to become a little bit distant, unless they're really good at hiding their feelings. So for me, as I say to them at the start, like when they sign up, I only want you to train with me when you're happy to train. If you ever feel the need that you need a change of coach or that you just can't do coaching anymore, like some people just fall out of love with it, or don't need it anymore. I'm always like, I'm not going to take it personally. Just tell me. I'd rather you be happy in your training if it's with a different person or by yourself. Like I'm not bothered.
Comes back to comms, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Change of service. Umpire's happy with that one. Talk to me about ice hockey. Ice hockey's big in Nottingham. And in Sheffield you got the Steelers, but I never made it out there. So I think I want to know if there'd be space for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Who should I be following? And can we go?
Yeah.
And then your experience of it as a player.
Yeah, so my dad and the old chairman used to be quite good friends. So that just, we used to go and watch quite a bit. This was when I was like young. And then always skated, like always ice skated. But it came a point kind of after the first lockdown, I was like, no, I want to give it a go. So I got all the kit, expensive.
How much are you looking at?
I mean, like base level for everything and skates, you're looking at least £1,000.
Okay, so that's getting your skates, and then what do you wear when you're out on the ice?
You've got leg pads, shorts, chest shoulder pads, elbow pads, helmet, and then obviously your socks and jerseys and everything. Skates are definitely the most expensive part. And then just started from there, kind of changed my type of training in the gym to supplement the hockey, plyos, strength training, rather than like your typical kind of 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps.
So as a discipline, as a practice, were you out training with the team and then doing your own stuff to supplement it, or was everything all in group? How did it work?
So I only played kind of amateur level, so basically like Sunday league football, but trained with all 4 teams in Nottingham, so it was kind of like training nearly every night.
Wow.
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then a game Saturday or Sunday. So that plus gym work as well, it got a lot. Like, I probably got down to my lowest weight point, just because the amount of stuff that I was doing. But it's just such a camaraderie. Is that how you say the word? I'm not too sure. And I feel like I've only ever got that feeling in hockey. Like, played football when I was a kid, played cricket when I was a kid, team sports, but I feel like hockey was like just on a different level. You're putting your body on the line all the time, and like it's such a dangerous sport. Like, you've got literal blades on the bottom of your feet. So I feel like everyone's kind of in the same situation. Like, everyone looks out for everyone. And like, I've not played the sport myself, but I feel like from what I've seen, like rugby's the same. I don't know. Have you played?
I wouldn't be able to compare the two, but the sense of you are going out with mates who've got your back was a wonderful feeling. Yeah.
As I said, got to a point where I was playing like 6 nights a week, like training 4 or 5 times, playing once or twice. And then the idea of bodybuilding came back in there. So then it kind of just all switched like that again.
Do you think there's a fragility to bodybuilders?
In what sense?
I have felt that I've not been able to do other sports necessarily if I've just wanted to work on my physique and work on my aesthetic.
I feel like it is hard. Like, it's obviously possible. Like, nothing's impossible. When you're, like, especially if you're doing another sport to the extent that you want to do it, say you're playing like 3 or 4 times a week, and you're also trying to bodybuild, like, they just don't go. Yeah, you could go and play hockey like once or twice a week and then bodybuild. Yeah. But if you want to do both as equals, don't think it can work.
No, I think that's fair. I tried to keep my upper-lower split going as I was getting into marathon. I just need to stop saying marathon training. Half marathon training.
Marathon training.
It felt like a marathon. I think I've got a marathon in my locker, but I know that I would need to train for that. And were I to train properly for a marathon, I'm not lifting weights 4 times a week. You know, I lost size on my legs. I know this because, like a bodybuilder, I was tracking my measurements, you know, and I don't know if I'll get that size back in a hurry. Muscle takes ages to build. It's quite quick to lose it. So I know that running and bodybuilding for me don't quite work if I'm doing the long distances. But doing a 5K in bodybuilding or doing a spin class in bodybuilding, like class, that's a great way to keep topped up on both. And I think there's something about HYROX and your functional training where if you've built the physique, you can sustain it through HYROX training.
Yeah. I feel like that's what a lot of kind of younger generation bodybuilders anyway neglect. It's heart health. Like, you see so many people dying from it. It's crazy how many people get in such negative internal shape, but look amazing on the outside.
Because peak fitness isn't peak health, is it?
No.
The best looking people on stage are probably not going to be the healthiest people in the room.
No, not at all. Like, bodybuilding's not a healthy sport, I'd say.
What's your take on it? Because you've had the preps that have been like mentally challenging, haven't you?
Yeah, like, as I said, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I feel like if you're kind of a regimented person and I'd only ever say to someone to compete if they 100% compete. Like, if you're only 99% sure that you want to do it, I'd always say no.
Okay.
Just because there is going to be one point in that prep you will give up.
What is that point? Like, is it common to everyone, or is there different moments for
I feel
different
like it's
people?
just different, yeah.
Yeah. What was the moment for you where you felt like you could chuck it in but didn't?
There's some days where you wake up and you're like, I'm struggling to get out of bed here. Not because of like anything mental, like physically draining. Some days some weeks even, if your weight's not shifting, your body's working against you, like you'll have to put that extra little bit of effort in, extra bit of Stairmaster, extra bit of this.
Yeah.
And there comes a day where you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I can't move. I don't know if you experienced that during diet phases or kind of not to that extreme.
I don't think I've ever gone that low with food that I've struggled.
Yeah.
I've gone to bed hungry, I've woken up hungry. And I will say that there's sometimes an element of, particularly when you're chasing a look, say you're in peak weeks, I've done it for photo shoots or just to make a point sometimes on social media.
You're like, yeah, this is me.
Yeah. Like I've run a peak week in the middle of a bulk just to show how easy it is to shift 2 to 4 kilos, or more to the point, make it look like you've shifted 2 to 4 kilos. Because it's smoke and mirrors on social media.
Oh,
you and I know how much trickery is involved. And just by manipulating your water and salt, you can have a completely different look at the end of the week.
Yeah.
So on those days where you're just like, okay, cool, I'm going to prove a point, it's fine to wake up hungry. I also know with that feeling I'll look pretty sharp, you know? And if you're not careful, I think that could become addictive and that could become a disordered eating
100%.
behaviour.
Yeah.
When you're describing the not being able to get out of bed though, that's probably contingent on multiple weeks of really eating in a deficit. And
a major deficit.
Not getting the macros, not getting the micros, not getting enough sleep because you're not getting enough nutrition. And then it becomes this vicious cycle of just grinding yourself into the ground, I would imagine.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 But
like,
you loved it.
You wake up 2 or 3 times throughout the night, especially like the probably 3-4 weeks out, you're waking up a good 3-4 times and not being able to go back to sleep for like a good half an hour, an hour.
No. How do you come back to normal from that?
It's a hard process because mentally you're like, I've worked so hard for this physique, I don't want to lose any line, I don't want to lose like any bit of definition. And I feel like if you don't have a good coach that's kind of there to support you, coaches aren't just coaches in my eyes, they're somewhat friends. They know you inside and out. For me anyway, like with my clients, I like being mates with them. I like knowing what they've done at the weekend. As you come off the back of a show, you need someone that you can lean on, 100%, because as soon as you lose a little bit of definition, if you're not strong mentally, that's gone. You'll be like, no, I want to stay out I am now, and it's not healthy.
No. How do you help a person in that position? What have you done to help?
We'll use Lisa, for example. Obviously post-show, she was obviously excited, she just won.
PCA Junior Bikini, is that right?
Yeah, two in one day.
Amazing.
Yeah, quite an experience, that one. 1 in the morning, and then repeat for 1 in the afternoon.
Unreal.
And then it's just letting her have a bit of fun, like the kind of 4 or 5 days after. And then it's back to a program where you're gonna ease it off, but not put on a load of water. It's not fat, because you don't build fat obviously that quickly, but it's in their eyes, that's what it'll be. It'll be, oh my God, I've not got definition in my legs anymore. Yeah. Yeah, because we're not holding that for that long period of time. Like, the whole point is working all the way through to that day, and then we come back off it. It's not a sustainable look.
No. And I would imagine as well, you being mates with Lisa, that you know what she likes to eat, what her habits are kind of around socialising and all of that, so you'd be able to pitch things that are hopefully non-food based and non-image based to take her away from it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, even during prep, like...
Did you know that each episode of Fitness and Thinking takes about 10 hours to put together? If
you've enjoyed them, then I've got a favour to ask of you. And it's not your money. It is just a second to like what you like. Maybe a couple of seconds to leave a comment.
It's hard because obviously she's at uni, her friends are going out drinking and whatever. Like she's not really interested in that anyways. But they'd go out for food and like she'd have to either miss it or go and take her own food. And I feel like that's such a hard environment to be around whilst doing bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just don't get it.
I think you've touched on something that's huge there. You have somebody who has won a bodybuilding show, not go on nights out. The average client looking to lose a stone doesn't need to skip meals.
No.
The average client doesn't need to not go on a night out or to not be with their mates. Like, we're talking about competition level and we're talking about general health and fitness.
Yeah.
I worry that people think that when we say, oh, look, maybe you'd benefit from eating a bit less food, that they think that that means restaurants are done or
Yeah.
that social life is done. If a coach is telling you that you can't have a social life because you've got a stone to lose,
You need to change that coach.
you need to change the coach,
Yeah.
100%. Lisa had a very specific goal, you helped her achieve that, and you helped walk her back from that. Like, that is bodybuilding. For general health and fitness, we're talking about getting you to a statistically normal, healthy range, and hopefully that will improve various measures and metrics that could improve the quality of your life, and you live throughout all of that. But the more that you've maybe abused food and abused alcohol and not had enough sleep, maybe you do have a little bit of work to do to get into the normal range. But that would be thinking about your diet and your activity as a whole, rather than just saying, oh, well, coach says I can't go out anymore.
Yeah. You could, obviously, probably not the best advice, but you could go and eat McDonald's, KFC, Domino's, all in one day, and as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. Body composition might not be the best, but you're going to lose weight. If you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight, end of. So there's no harm in having a McDonald's, having a Domino's, going out to a restaurant.
No.
If your goal is to lose weight, as long as you're in a deficit, that's all that matters.
It's tough though, isn't it? Because we have obviously clients that we can point to who are shredded, and people will think, oh, if I work with that coach, he'll get me to look like that. But those clients have maybe started 2 years ahead of you, you know, and they already have an understanding of how their bodies respond to food, what they need in terms of sleep, and something you've already mentioned, the drive to work out when you're not there. And if you've not yet got that capacity to get the work done when coach isn't there, then maybe that look isn't quite what you're going to achieve in this block, you know?
Well, it comes down to the basic rule of work is results. The amount of work that you put in gives you the results based on that. And I feel like it's not just in gym.
I do think there's an element in the industry of working smarter, not harder. And there's been a big pushback back end of 2025 and going into 2026 of, no, you also have to work hard.
Well, yeah, obviously. People just trying to cheat the system. Things that aid with fat loss that you can just put inside your body, not do any work with it, and lose weight. Yes, might feel great at the time. 5 years down the line, you're probably not going to look like that.
No. Yeah, this is the issue, isn't it, with, I'm thinking on GLP-1s, is that if you don't also do the work around them, if your body's stripped of muscle mass, you lose your ability to burn calories at rest.
Yeah.
Which means that once your mass is gone, a smaller body burns fewer calories, which means that you won't be able to eat as much as you're eating now to maintain the weight. You might even put on weight in what you think is a deficit at the moment, which is a terrible, terrible position to be in.
And you just caught in a catch-22.
Yeah.
Like, you get to a point where, yeah, you might have lost loads of weight, but now your metabolic rate is in the floor. You eat a little bit extra calories and you start to put weight on, even though maybe that macro count is nowhere near what you used to eat. Yeah. And as you said, like, the more muscle you lose, the less food you can eat, basically.
100%. I wonder if, to get to this point, you and I have a similar kind of coaching philosophy. What do you think you found through maybe the people you've worked with or from life experience that has helped you to understand that there's something outside of the temple?
I think I've never really kept a large group of friends. It's always been quite close, quite tight-knitted, and kind of contradictory-ish to what you're saying. Like, my priority would be to keep healthy and to keep kind of training. But then we go back to the idea of general fitness, to then people like us who kind of want to push comps, want to push doing this, doing that. But then there's also a very important aspect of having a social life. And you're taking a day away from yourself training, but you're having a catch up with your mate. Like, this is more priority. And I feel like as you go through life, you obviously lose people, you gain people. It's finding that little group that will kind of stick with you. What do you think?
I think that the social bit of fitness is underrated, and I think it's part of why you and I enjoy classes.
Yeah.
I think it's part of why you really got into the ice hockey. It's going through things with other people.
Yeah.
You know, and sport is it's almost like a cheat code to have these big emotional experiences in a short space of time. You know, you have your training session, maybe another training session, then a game. In a week, you've basically done a speed run of being maybe pissed off at coach, getting better at something, had a laugh with your mates, and then either won or lost or drawn or whatever, but you've gone through something as a group. And then next week, you know how to do it differently. You know, and that's relationships in a week. You know, we've taken something that is huge from an identity bit and put it into a microcycle.
Yeah.
And that's unreal. And for you to have had that is amazing. I enjoyed that, particularly college. Like, that's when I got into rugby, was sixth form. And I think it's because I was big enough then. I had the physical fitness to do the sport that demanded it, you know. And then my social fitness improved because I was part of a team that I liked. Yeah. And that was lovely. As an adult, it wasn't until actually really close to lockdown I played mixed netball with my work. And again, that ate into when I would go to the gym. But it was a laugh with a load of people I wouldn't otherwise have hung out with. Yeah. And the fact that we got to run around as well. Yeah. That's perfect for me. Yeah. Because like I want to move, I'm itching to move all the time. But having an excuse to be with people, like, I don't want to feel like the centre of attention necessarily when I'm on a night out or hanging out with people. I like that there's an activity. Yeah. You might know the thing about men often sit side by side rather than facing each other. Do you know this? Yeah. And that if you want men to open up, you should give them a task, like fixing a lawnmower, which is fascinating. And that's there's this vector to talk about deeper things because there's a space for it. You can put your attention on it, maybe not look somebody in the eyes as you get into the deeper stuff, but the activity enables the deeper stuff, if you know what I mean, rather than, I think maybe some men, straight men, struggle to just go for a coffee and talk mental health. Yeah. That's not necessarily an obvious thing, whereas my women and non-binary mates, they will be able to go out and just say, look, I need to talk about this thing. And maybe they could do it with 3 or 4 people. Yeah. I don't think necessarily among my mates there's the capacity to do that. We might go for pints, but you know, it's 6-7 weeks well in advance. The next date that I've got in the calendar is the 23rd of May.
Yeah, a bit of a track.
Do you know when that was put in the calendar, Tom? It was put in November the 1st. Yeah. Like, because people have got families and people have got jobs that are demanding, and you know, like my guy mates, they're physically not there, but I think also they're just so stacked with whatever's going on that they don't, I just don't think they get it in the same way that my women and non-binary mates do.
And I feel like that's such a talking point at the minute, and it has been over the past few years. Yeah. I feel a lot of men don't want to talk and try and keep it in, and like, especially when I was going through stuff, I know at the time anyway that, well, the majority of the time I did try and keep it to myself. But looking back at it and what I've tried to kind of promote over the past few years is talking. When I was working at Pure Gym, did like a mental health walk as a group. Just put some leaflets up, whoever turned up, and just spreading it on social media. Like, it's such a good tool. A lot of people use it negative, but it's such a good tool to spread positive kind of affirmations out there.
I felt a need to talk to you when I saw one of your mental health posts. There's a lot of performativity online, and there's a guy I've seen quite a lot of whose brother died, which would obviously be a terrible thing to happen. but all of his content is about his brother dying.
Mm.
And it's, you know, like 900 posts of him crying on camera. And as somebody who has lost a bodybuilding mate and somebody who has had suicidal thoughts, you know, like it's one thing to experience loss, and it's one thing to maybe put yourself in that position as well.
Mm.
But when you see the same person go through it again and again and again, and you see the likes and the comments, that's almost off-putting, you know? And I'm saying that I'm guilty of turning off almost when I see too much of it.
Mm.
But I saw yours in the sea of gym bits and working harder and reading more. I was just like, I think I know the moment that Tom was in. Without knowing you, I was just like, there's something there that I've got a feeling about this.
Yeah.
And we weren't in a position to talk about it at the time, but I got the sense from there that we were able to talk quite easily once we recognised it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, kind of, as you were saying, if you know someone's gone through similar things, I feel like you're more likely to open up to one another, which A, shouldn't be, like, you should be able to open to everyone, but B, it just gives you a sense of something in common. Like, it doesn't have to be the same thing or the same feelings or whatever, but you've both been through kind of mental, say, depression, and it's just nice to have people to talk to that understand it. I think that's the main word, is understand it.
What was the trigger for you to talk about it more openly? What was the trigger for you to have the mental health walk and put the posters?
So when I first started, like, the mental health posters was me kind of coming out the back end of it, realising some people might not have the same friend group or family that kind of support them. So it's just being there for people that I don't even know. Like, I'd rather someone random that I've never spoken to before in my life come up to me in the gym and say, "Can we have a chat?"
Yeah.
Like, because me sitting there for however long it is, 10 minutes, 2 hours, is more important. I'm guessing, likewise yourself, it's more important than someone talking to us than going to do something that's going to prevent them talking to us.
For sure. Yeah. And I think maybe the idea that you could talk to somebody you don't know about it is why therapists have jobs. You know?
Yeah.
But I think it's also why you and I have jobs often, is that people don't just come to us for the gym work. No,
not at all. You get so many stories, you get so many feelings. You might see someone one week and they're in the happiest part of their life. A week goes by, you've not seen them, and all hell's gone loose. You're their routine. If everything else in life is falling apart, you are their routine.
How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah. I was chatting to Ina recently about this. She is a DJ in Amsterdam. The idea of when you see people like you doing something that you want to do, it can be really motivating. And if you don't see people like you doing the thing that you want to do, maybe it feels like something that just isn't possible. So I would like to think, whether or not people see us as representative, just two people being able to have a chat about, you know, whatever depth, depression, suicidal thoughts, losing people, helps them to realise that it's fine to bring it up.
Yeah.
It might not be easy, but
it's okay.
It's okay. I think when you find your group, when you find your team, I know that my lads on the 23rd of May will be open to every single topic, but in part that's because we've got 6 months of stuff to talk about, you know, and maybe we'll get into the depths of it, or maybe it'll just be wedding chat and kid chat, and whatever it'll be great because we're together. But we've had those chats together. It's just that we can't necessarily depend on it in the same way that actually, once you found your team, or as I found coming to Nottingham, like, I recognised that I'd not had a hug in 2 weeks, and I was just like, "Tom, can I have a hug?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah, that's absolutely fine." And, you know, we've just been chatting little bits in between the shallow and the deep, the bodybuilding, the philosophy, like everything has been absolutely fine. Because I recognise in you somebody that I could talk to about this stuff.
I feel like so many people are scared of physical touch. Like, that's why I love working for HYROX, is when you go away and like to the events, the first time you see everyone, it's not a hello, it's not a fist bump, it's a hug.
Okay.
Like, say next week I'm going to Glasgow, I know for a fact the first time that I see everyone, it'll be a hug from everyone. There's no other way of saying it, it's just nice.
And the poll that I put up for the people who follow Fitness and Thinking on Instagram was actually studied durations of hugs. Have you seen this? That confer benefits, statistically speaking. Do you know how long a hug needs to be to confer some benefit?
No.
So hopefully you're not hugging anyone for less than 5 seconds.
So yeah.
Yeah, because that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But from 5 seconds to, I think, about 20 in the different studies and meta-analyses, there seems to be this reduction of stress, this maybe increase in oxytocin, of feeling close to people, that you just feel better connected. Now, more than 20 seconds is obviously quite intense, and maybe that's something that makes more sense, you know, between partners, or, you know, if somebody's grieving, it can be quite nice to be held for longer.
Yeah.
But I think for the average person, like 5 seconds out of your day is nothing, is it? I would much rather that hugs were a thing. And again, I wonder if sometimes it's an English thing, or it's a guy thing, or what. But 2 months and you were the third person to give me a hug. It's just mental to me, you know? The fact that you've got that with your HYROX community, I feel that there is an importance to group fitness, to group exercise in a way that you and I appreciate through teaching classes, through you being in your team, through me with the mixed netball. Like, I love that so much, and I love being a part of people going through bits together. In the kind of team dynamics, I was wondering if you ever came across a Shawsy type character, before we get into more serious stuff again. So for anyone who doesn't know, Shawsy is a spin-off character from Letterkenny. Letterkenny is an alternative Canadian comedy series, and it always starts with, there are 5,000 people in Letterkenny, these are their problems. Unreal. There were 10 series, I think, and then it moved to Shawsy with, I've forgotten the name of the guy now, Jared Kesey, I think he's called. So smart, and he's Shawsy, this mercurial ice hockey player.
So funny.
Who's an absolute prick. But he's our prick, isn't he?
Yeah, like, that is not, it's not hockey nowadays, but that is your typical amateur, like, beer league hockey team. So and that's what makes it so relatable. It's so funny. You
saw that, or did you, like, is there an element of that in the level you played at, or?
Yeah. Like, definitely more amateur hockey is still like that.
Okay.
Like, I'd say probably professional isn't, but yeah, amateur's so funny. Like, you've got people sinking beers straight after a period and all, like, you're just like, what? And people that are there that can't skate, that just want to fight, and yeah, it's just complete Shawsy.
But you're there for it?
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah. It's got to be done.
What am I looking for? If I want, like, the elite stuff, who do I follow? And if I want the beer league, who do I follow?
Well, you've got Panthers, which is obviously a professional team. You've got Lions 1 and 2, which is Lions 1 is somewhat semi-pro, some not. Lions 2 underneath them, and then you've got your more amateur teams, North Stars, Knights, Outlaws, and then Cyclones.
Okay. So there is a range.
Oh yeah.
And we can go for the elite, and that will be slick, and we can go for the Cyclones.
Fun.
That'll be fun. Something I've really enjoyed with coaching at Everlast is the opportunity that we've had to get into the HYROX coaching, and because of that, it's completely changed my want to train in a certain way. So I'm in a bodybuilding phase. I'll keep that running until the end of March. I'm enjoying the look, and maybe with a little bit more motivation from yourself and Luke, at some point we push it a little bit further. The race mentality aspect of coaching it is something that I've not had before. So we did a HYROX complete in Everlast Gym, and there must have been like 80 people show up for it, which on that track is a lot of people.
Yeah, busy.
Very, very busy. And we went through, I think it was rows, skis, runs, sled pushes, burpees. So we did an amount of it. It's a simulation of what you do at a competition, isn't it? And you basically work your socks off in pairs for 30 minutes. and having already done the fitness test during the day, a 3 kilometre run, and I tried to keep up with you, not realising that you weren't in the HYROX Complete, you were just coaching it.
Hang on a minute.
You were sub 4:30 on your split, and I was just like, this is quick for me. This isn't a shakeout. So then going into that, having already trained in the morning, you and I both lifted weights in the morning, I was battered. And then the head coach says, okay, now it's race mentality.
Yeah.
And you do another session effectively. It's split into 4 people and it's more like a relay than the doubles in the HYROX format. But that notion of you are wrecked, you've already put everything into it, now you go again. This mentality is what separates the winners from the average person.
100%. Yeah. It's a switch. That's the simplest way that I can describe it. It's a switch like, right now we go. And it's when you are fatigued and you're like, oh, I can't do it anymore. It's that switch in your head, like, I can do it.
I think you have to be exposed to it though, don't you? So I didn't know that I was capable of doing more until somebody shouted at me in a class that we're doing more. I didn't want to, but now I've got other people that are expecting me to show up, and I'm quite competitive sometimes.
Yeah.
That was the kick that I needed to keep on going. And I think I would really enjoy try everything once, HYROX doubles for that. You know, if I had somebody that I could hang with, who I could trust to say, Jack, pull back a little bit, Jack, just go. That would be something that I would really enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, outside of maybe playing for a team again, whatever that looks like. When you're thinking about mentality though, I think you have a really nice approach that isn't just about sport. It isn't just about going from 9 out of 10 to 10 out of 10. It's that you've seen it the other way. The mindset that worries you is a mindset about people settling.
Somewhat of what you just said, as you said, you didn't know you had more in you until someone shouted at you. And similarity to that is you see so many people outside of the gym now settling for a lesser life than what they could achieve. Yeah. Just out of comfortability. I feel like kind of linking it back to the book of Courage Should Be Disliked is no one takes a risk anymore. And like myself, I took a risk by leaving F45. Loved it there. It just came to an end. It wasn't me anymore. But I could have stayed there, got my paycheck every month, somewhat enjoyed it, or take the risk, quit, put more effort into my one-to-one coaching, into like focusing on the HYROX coaching at Everlast. Yeah. And like I feel sometimes you've got to have that person that just gives you the little, come on, do it. And like the majority of the time you'll be able to do it yourself. Like you'll have your times where you have like an epiphany, like, no, I need to do this. But girlfriend was like, no, like you can do this. And just even that little bit of 30 seconds of support gives you that little bit of oomph, that bit of motivation to take that risk. Yeah. So whether it's doing it yourself, if it's more of a bigger decision, having that support from someone, it's just making sure you're with someone that will push you, that will see the opportunities that you've got in life, and not just, well, whether you're with someone or not, and not just settle with what you've got.
I think there is a tendency for people to almost romanticize what they can access rather than dream. Yeah. So there are people I know who have stayed in damp houses or have had broken cars because that's what they've known, rather than, you know, it might even be as simple as just trade in. They've told me that they've got the money. They just haven't done the thing. Yeah. And it's often needing the impetus, the energy from somewhere, because change is scary. You know, yeah. For a lot of people, just changing a blender could be a big thing. But how much better is it once you've done it? It's just that initial investment cost. Yeah. And I think some people are so caught up in having to do it all themselves that they don't do anything, like you say. And I think maybe to you and I, it looks like settling. I wonder if they just don't have the impetus, that little bit of energy needed to do it. Because if they did, then they would be...
What could life be if they did it?
100%. It sounds like from your girlfriend, you've got somebody who sees you for you. It's not that they're pushing you to go in a direction you don't want to go in. Yeah, this is where you want to go. And a good partner should do that. A good best mate or coach.
Yeah, no matter who it is in your life. Yeah. Like friend, family, partner, coach. If they can see something in you that you want to do, obviously not forcing stuff on people, but if you said that you want to do it, but you've not got that little bit needed, it's just having them people around that kind of say do it. I think that links to 5 closest people around you is who shapes you. Like, you go from having a group of people that want to go out all the time, drinking, staying out till God knows when in the morning, to then people that getting up early, training, going for coffee, going for nice food, like this, that is, there's no right or wrong.
No.
If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, then that is.
In a slightly different direction, I was catching up with a friend who has moved from staying up late and drinking and eating out 3-4 times a week to being in the gym 3-4 times a week, and realising that they've got to get up early for 2 reasons. First, because of their shift. They can't go after work because they don't have the energy after work. Second, because the gym that they go to is an absolute hotbox. From
yeah,
about,
first thing in the morning is nice.
Yeah, 10 onwards, like it's not even an option for them. As a result of doing this, the lifts have improved. They're happier by the day with how they look, getting compliments from strangers in ways that they've not necessarily had before, different dating opportunities because different people are recognising them and they find that they're attracted to different things.
Yeah.
You know, their personality has changed as a result of this, and they love that. You know, they enjoy everything that I've just described there. It feels like they're productive, fitter, healthier, and in some ways happier. But there's a creative element that's kind of disappeared. And I think a lot of people tend to worry that if they have this structured lifestyle, that they're not creative, that they can't be artistic in the same way. There's a really nice interview, which maybe I can link, Murakami and Harry Styles. Have you come across it?
No.
So I think this was for Runner's World, and Beth linked me to the article, which was that Murakami has written an amount on running. He's a Japanese author in his 70s now, and Harry Styles has recently run a sub 3-hour marathon.
Yeah, quick.
Which is very quick.
Yeah, very.
I'd be very happy with sub 4. Like, sub 3 is amazing. And we might think author, musician, not necessarily athletes, but their athletic endeavours are amazing. And they're talking to each other on like a really human level, but a creative level and a sporting level. And it's this idea that both of them want structure. Both of them want routine because they know that will benefit their performance. And it's not like Harry Styles is not creative. You know, he's just put out another album.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you just got to trust that if you're with the right people and you have the want to be creative, they're not going to stop you from doing that. It's just, it might feel different as a result of everything else in your life changing, you know?
I feel like it's just an excuse to not do it. Like, you're saying, if I do get structured, if I wake up every morning, go to the gym, go to work, blah, 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 etc., I've got no time to, or no, like, inspiration to be creative. That's you putting that off because you're saying that this is going to happen. Whereas if you just go, open mindset, I'm going to do all this, it's going to give me the fuel to then be able to do this.
Yeah.
I feel, myself included, everyone makes excuses.
Yeah.
Like, we're not perfect. Everyone makes excuses. But it's putting something off because of that excuse. That's one thing that I've definitely started to try not to do. As I said, me leaving F45, like leaving that stable income because I want to take that risk. Yeah. But then the excuse is, if I didn't do it, I'm not doing it because I can't afford it. It's
the if X, then Y. If I had this car, then I would be happy. If I had this partner, then life would be better. And a note that I've got for myself is, how can I make today better? Yeah. You know, like, what can I do today to impact what happens? Okay, so I didn't sleep well, but can I still get steps in? Can I sit outside for 10 minutes? Yeah. You know, can I prep some food? If I can't prep the food, can I just have one meal that I know I'll like? You know, I'm constantly looking for ways to make the day better if one thing's not worked for me.
Funnily enough, I've got a poster on my wall that says 1% better every day.
And it's that, if the obvious path seems blocked, what else can you do? You know, you might not be able to control the thing that's in your way, but you can control how you respond to it. Sleep is a big one for me. Like, I want everybody to push for 6 to 9 hours sleep every single night. But if you don't get a good night's sleep, for whatever reason, because you're a parent, because you went out last night, because you're woken up, because you're stressed, like it was on you, you're stressed and you couldn't get to sleep and you were thinking about something else, okay, that happens. How do you respond to it? There are so many training sessions I've had on 3 hours sleep that have been unbelievable. If I'd gone into the day thinking the day is ruined because I've not slept well, I've shot myself in the foot. And I would advise to never shoot yourself in the foot, just as a...
Not ideally, no.
No. Yeah, we cap ourselves so much with this kind of self-talk and the contingent talking that, as you say, whether it's a direct excuse or it's a legitimate one, just try for that 1%.
It's sort of linking back to the book again, based on Adler's philosophy. Yeah, not the best sleep, right? Let's just stop myself there. Just give myself a second.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, whether it's a coffee, whether it's electrolytes, whether it's getting some sun, or just going out and walking for that first initial part of your day is so important. And I feel like a lot of people don't realise how important that first hour or 2 hours is.
Yeah.
Because if you get up, don't do anything that you want to do, feeling bad, like say you've not had a good night's sleep, that's just going to continue throughout the whole day. So it just comes back to the point of it's not the cause, it's how you act on that cause.
Why? Because of X, to invert it. So people will look for a reason to not do things, and then people will look for a reason to feel a certain way. And this is the Adlerian bit. And I am conscious of how it sounds very bro-y. Just like, no, bro, like, do life anyway.
Yeah.
Adler's not saying that you can't be sad,
No.
or that you can't be happy, or that you need to. There's a comment on a YouTube video about, I don't want to be freed from desire. And it's just like, Adler's not necessarily talking about not experiencing the extremes. It's just that, like a Zen monk, you accept highs, you accept lows, you feel all of it, but you don't allow them to then dictate future feeling.
Yeah.
And with this, the sleep is an example. What else can you do? Like, the sleep happened. You can't change that, but you can change potentially things in front of you or how you respond to them. And that mindset, I think, can be really liberating, but it's really scary. And that's part of the courage to be disliked, is to say the past has happened, and in some ways it doesn't matter what that was.
No.
Like, who I was a minute ago
Doesn't matter.
You know, it's what we do now. Intentions are great, but what's your action from here?
At the drop of an instant, you can change your whole character if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. There's, I think, something I want to ask you about before we bring all of this home, Tom, and it's your ambition. With HYROX as something that you're interested in, I know that you want to push for numbers that are big. So I'm just getting into the game, but I understand that if you were to finish a HYROX in under an hour, that would be an incredible achievement in men's doubles. That'd be fair to say?
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
And you're shooting for 57 minutes?
56, 57, yeah.
Okay. Why that specific time?
Based on my mate's previous time, he's got 58. He wants to be that.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily 57 is what we want. We just want below 58. And it's just pushing every day to try and get the shortest time possible. Like, I've only been training this type of way for a year and a couple of months now. So I'm like, I want to see where I am now, 2 years' time, when I'm 25. What can I be doing?
Yeah.
Can I be at the top level? Can I be like pushing Elite 15, kind of world champs, like this, that? So it's just, for me, it's pushing to constantly better. Is
that what the top of the pyramid looks like in HYROX? So Elite 15, it's not like you've got a top 3 podium finish or anything like that. What is Elite 15?
So Elite 15 is 15 best people in the world. Obviously, you've got different people that go to different races, but at the very end of the season, you've got your main World Championship races, which is the Elite 15s, which is the top of the top. These guys are hitting crazy numbers. So you've got open and pro. Pro is obviously just heavier weights. All of these will be doing pro weights. Say doubles, the doubles are hitting low 50s.
Right, okay.
In pro weights.
Yeah. So just for context, this is 8 kilometres of running.
Yeah.
And then also
8 stations.
8 stations of exercise in under like an impressive 10k time for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the sled push on a men's pro is 200 kg. The pull's like 150.
So what's the gap? What do you need to do to get there?
Learning.
Yeah.
Like learning from literally what these people do and somewhat copying, because they've got to a certain level because of this. Why can't you use it?
So HYROX is like your performance racing. It's a way to make competition more accessible to more people, almost, isn't it? That even though tickets are hard to get, the barrier to entry is quite low. You don't need to be in a national team. You don't need to be in a club. Like anybody could buy a ticket and compete, which is amazing. I think from a perspective of wanting people to get into sport, the democratization of something like HYROX or Athletics or any games where you can just buy a ticket, show up and
Just go, yeah.
is class.
You never know, you might see a HYROX in the Olympics.
What's next for you, Tom, other than Elite 15?
Way off. Definitely, I've got two very different avenues. One is own my own gym or kind of stay in the fitness world, so become a full-time online coach and whatever, just to be able to work from anywhere, have that freedom. Other is own a cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, your face of shock.
Okay.
So my dad's a chef, so I've been into food for all my life and love coffee, so mixed the two into a cafe. Very opposite ends of the spectrum.
Amazing. There's a guy on TikTok, I don't know if you've seen him, is he from like Macclesfield? He's a runner. I don't know if his name's Alistair.
Oh yeah, love him, yeah.
You know the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah, from Blackburn.
From Blackburn. He's just opened a cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just like, yeah, go for it. It's my take on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so two very opposite ends, but
okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you got the online coaching though, that could facilitate the.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Okay. I see you.
After coming for a flat white.
Dirty chai is what I'm into at the moment, but
don't mind.
Yeah.
Don't mind.
If you want to send people on from here, in between you opening the cafe and or going fully online, where would you like people to check more of your stuff out or go reading, exploring?
Book-wise, 100% The Courage to Be Disliked. Like, I'm only halfway through it just because I'm only reading 10, 15 pages at a time because I want to actually take it in.
Nice.
And then, yeah, if you wanted to follow me, see my training, on Instagram, tmellors.p2.
Is there anything we've missed or anything you'd want to get into?
No, just getting used to play ice hockey.
Imagine getting on a bodybuilding stage and then playing ice hockey.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
First year, second year, marathon third year. That's it, easy, done.
Easy peasy. I appreciate you coming out, Tom, and to record an episode in an English garden's all right, isn't it?
It's beautiful, beautiful bit of sun.
Cheers, lad.
Sorted.
I feel like I'm going to be really well lit or just pink at the moment.
You go sunburn by the end of it.
I will sunburn in the spring.
It'll be the same colour as that leaf. You'll be fine.
If you enjoyed this episode of Fitness and Thinking, please do leave a like, comment, and do subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of people will watch an episode or two but not hit that subscribe button, meaning that they miss the future episodes, meaning that maybe to those algorithms it doesn't look like they're that interested overall in the project. But I get the sense that more and more of you are. We're into triple digits in terms of followers and people tuning in both for the podcast and the newsletter. And even this cat is checking us out. Yeah.